everyone, welcome back. I am so excited because at the time I'm filming this, the channel has just broken 2,000 subscribers, which is really cool, and I'm super grateful for all of you for being here. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I thought though that this would be a perfect time to do like a get to know me Q&A type of video. Over on Instagram, I have almost 10,000 followers. I've been doing it for several years, and over there I kind of feel like people know me and I know them, and I want YouTube to feel the same way. So if you aren't following me on Instagram, I will make sure that that is linked down below because I would love to have you join me over there. That is such a great community of people. Obviously, we love fashion over there. We talk about all kinds of things, but I want to have that same sense of community here on YouTube. So let's get to know each other a little bit better. I'm going to answer some questions I have been asked just about my life outside of YouTube, fashion type stuff. So several different things, but let's jump in. A lot of people always ask me, how did I meet my husband? That is a frequently asked question, which is kind of interesting, but we met in college, which is pretty typical, pretty normal story for a lot of people, but we didn't date in college. That is not like where our love story began. We had a lot of mutual friends, and so he was just, fun guy that had a lot of the same friends as me, hung out with a lot of the same people, but we did not actually start dating until quite some time later. I hadn't even seen him in forever. I kind of lost touch with a lot of people. And then I ran into him one night. It was actually St. Patrick's Day. And I was out celebrating St. Patrick's Day and a friend's birthday. We had all gone out, and lo and behold, there he stood. I had not seen him in forever. So I went over and we started visiting and just catching up. And the rest was history. That was it for me. So he is just the love of my life, and can't imagine my life without him. He's very supportive of everything that I do here and very encouraging of all of this. So people ask me a lot what I do for a living or if I have a job outside of social media. The answer is yes. I think it would be really fun to do social media, YouTube, Instagram, all that full time. And if it ever happens, fantastic. If it doesn't, I still really love my job. I have worked in higher education for 8 years. Gosh, that happened really fast. I've had the opportunity to work in academic advising and career counseling, if you know anything about that. And then I currently work for our TRIO programs. So TRIO is federally funded programming that serves students who are first generation college students. So their parents have never graduated college or have never been to college, students who have high financial need. So a lot of our students are at or below the poverty level, and then students with disabilities. So those are kind of the three categories that our students fall into. And it is a job that I truly love. I am so lucky to work with the team that I work with, to work with the students I work with. And so I'm really lucky that I love my job so much. So higher ed is what I do for a living. And after starting in the university setting, being on a campus, of course, everybody always says, what's your next degree going to be? So I got a master's degree that I finished in 2018. I have a master's degree in adult education with an emphasis in training and a certification in e-learning. So I checked that off the list. I don't think I will ever get a doctorate. Never say never, but I think my kids would have to be a lot older before I would pursue any kind of doctorate, because that's a lot of work. So I was born in Oklahoma. I still live in Oklahoma. I live just outside Oklahoma City in a really small town. It's the town where I grew up. My mom, her dad, there's generations of my family here. I think I'm 5th generation actually, and my daughters make the 6th. And we have 2 little girls. At the time I'm filming this, our oldest is about to turn 9, and we have a 2.5-year-old who is a handful. I think honestly all toddlers are a handful. It's just I haven't had a toddler in a while, so it feels like extra, you know what I'm saying? The age gap there is pretty big, but that doesn't really bother us. it just gave me some time to forget about what it's like to have a toddler. And I am now being reminded. As far as fashion and Instagram and social media and all that, people always ask, how did you get into that? Like, why did you want to become an influencer? Well, the question has a lot of answers. And the thing is, I didn't actually want to be an influencer, but I have always loved fashion. I've always been very girly and have always been into anything that is pink and sparkly and frilly and bows. And, fashion has always been something I loved. It was my first major, actually. When I very first started in college, I was a fashion marketing major. I wish I had stuck with that. I was like, that's so impractical. I better change my major. And here I am. I had been on the Instagram platform for a long time, just doing whatever. But then I kind of found different pockets and communities like makeup and beauty and then like fashion challenges. And so eventually I just kind of started sharing things here and there, and it just kind of happened organically. Like it just naturally kind of evolved into, brands reaching out and saying like, hey, would you, consider doing this or that? And it was like, okay, sure. And people saying, hey, like, where did you get that? Or how did you decide to put that outfit together? And it was really cool because it also extended into people asking me questions about, I don't really feel comfortable wearing that. Like, how did you kind of find the self-confidence to wear this or that? And so it just kind of expanded and grew into this sort of community where I could share things that I was loving and share them with people who I knew, like me, were looking for options. And so that's kind of how everything started. And the more business influencer side just kind of followed. So it's just it's a genuine love for fashion before anything else. The business part of it is really completely secondary for me. Another question that I got asked is, do I have imposter syndrome or do I struggle with imposter syndrome? The answer is absolutely, 100%. Both in my professional career and in all of this, being on social media, being a content creator. I think a lot of people struggle with it and it's hard to overcome, but I think you just have to remind yourself, this is kind of the life motto that I live by, is if it's possible for another human being, it's possible for me. I think that we all have different gifts and things that we can offer to the world. And when you see other people doing something and they have tons of followers or they're making tons of money at it, you can kind of talk yourself out of wanting to share your perspective or share your story, because it's like, well, there's somebody else already talking about it and way more people are listening to them. So I'm just going to stay quiet because nobody cares what I have to say anyway. That's the greatest lie we've ever been told. It's not true. The truth is, we can tell our story better than anybody ever could. We are the experts at telling our own story and sharing what we know. We all have something special inside of us. And so anytime I can use what I know to help someone else, I'm reminded that that has value, that has worth. And so that's kind of how I fight imposter syndrome. If you're struggling with it, you're not alone, but just remember there is only one you, and that is what makes you special. And if you are thinking about starting something on social media, starting a business, an Instagram account, a YouTube, whatever, I say jump in, do it. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just get started and then you'll figure out the rest from there. I swear to you, I have taught myself everything that I know. I Google everything that I don't. I ask questions when I need to, and I just try not to sweat the things that I am not an expert at yet, because eventually I know I will get there, and so will you. So another question that I got asked is if I have like a top 3 affordable fashion like suggestion, or top 3 like affordable places I like to shop. And my top 2 are just always Walmart and Target when it comes to affordable fashion. Like Walmart and Target are it for me. When I want to splurge, Eloquii all the way, Anthropologie all the way. Those are 2 of my favorite splurge brands. But I just kind of shop all over the place, honestly. But if I am looking for a good deal, Walmart is my number 1, Target is my number 2. Another question that I got asked was about storage. So clothing, jewelry, shoes, like, keeping a closet organized. I'm going to tell you the truth. Number 1, I suck at it, because I always have stuff coming in for videos or projects that I'm working on with brands. So no matter what I do, there's always a pile of clothes laying somewhere in my house. However, I think there are a couple of things that you can do to really make a difference in how you are staying organized with your closet, with your accessories. Number one, velvet hangers. I can't stress it enough. I know it sounds like a really silly thing, and it's not just like aesthetically pleasing. I mean, it does look nice to have the same color hangers, but I could take or leave that. Truly, it's just the amount of space that plastic hangers take up. You don't realize it until you make the switch to velvet. They keep everything on the hanger so stuff's not falling and getting tangled, and they just take up way less space. So I will link some velvet hanger options down below because I 10 out of 10 recommend. If you have not tried them yet, you must if you are struggling with storage space for clothes. The other thing I would say is when it comes to additional storage for things like accessories, jewelry, clear storage is a must for me, because if I cannot see it, I will not wear it. I just have to know what I've got in order to remember to put it on. That has always kind of been the case for me. And so if you are struggling with that as well, definitely give clear storage a try, because again, like I said, all of these things kind of have like an aesthetic quality, but my reasons for using them, even if they started out being aesthetic, it's because they serve a practical function. So clear storage is a must. I would also say purging your closet on a semi-regular basis. I don't encourage being wasteful, but I do encourage taking a hard look at what's in your closet and saying, okay, am I wearing this? Am I like thinking I'm gonna wear it and then I just never do? Is it because it doesn't really truly fit me anymore? You know, if something has not been on your body in 6 months, it's probably never going to be. So even if you came to my channel for fashion, I hope you will stay for the friendship and the community. Please know that I do genuinely love what I do here. You all mean so much to me. I'm just so grateful. Like truly, you have a million choices about where you spend your time, who you subscribe to, what you watch, and if you choose to watch me, it means a lot, I promise. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please do, and just know I thank you from the bottom of my heart for being here, and I will look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye.